I'm Nick Seco from Home Right Windows and Doors, and we're located in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. So we do vinyl replacement windows, we do steel and fiberglass entry doors, we do aluminum storm doors, and we do sliding patio doors, all made by Provia. The windows are a vinyl replacement window, and it could be anything from double hungs to casements to bay and bow windows and everything in between. So when somebody calls in the office and needs an estimate, they get Roxanne on the phone typically, and she would schedule an appointment for me to come out and take some measurements, provide some literature, go through what options we have, and then I would follow up within about 24 to 48 hours with an estimate with all the details of the products as well as the installed price. I find that we're typically much more affordable than the companies that you see advertising on TV or in a lot of other places. If they're spending a lot of advertising dollars, obviously they're passing those costs on to their consumers. You could go to our website at homerightwaynesboro.com, or you could call us at 717-749-4874.
Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk TriState with Tiny and Katie.
Welcome back to Let's Talk TriState, all powered by Home Right Windows and Doors, the right choice, winning the 2024 Best of the Tri-State, and they are located in Waynesboro. It's Friday, so we have our good buddy Dan DeDona from localnews1.org to go through not just the 5 things for this weekend, but what's going on in our community.
Okay.
Bringing us up to speed on everything.
It's been a busy week. We'll hit the 5 things first, though. The Chambersburg Community Theater is bringing the musical You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, to the Capitol Theater main stage this weekend. It'll be on Friday. The performance will be at 7 p.m. on Friday.
Is that today?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Friday, as in
as in today. Okay.
This Friday, not next Friday. This Friday. Performances will continue on Saturday at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. and again on Sunday at 2 p.m. Tickets are $25 for adults, $20 for seniors, and $15 for children under 12.
Oh, that'll be fun.
That should be a lot of fun. That's a great play. Renfrew Museum and Park in Waynesboro is going to be hosting their 50th anniversary opening day celebration on Saturday from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. It's a free event. It'll include a lot of historical activities, quilting, period toys, costumed interpreters who you can walk up and ask them questions, and they'll tell you all about how it was back in the day. Let's see, they'll also be talking a little bit about the Renfrew Mill construction project. They've been working on that for about 2 years now, actually. They finally got the funding for that, so that should be a lot of fun.
I like that it's free, too.
Parking is free, that's right. It's available at designated lots. The Maryland Egg Fest is set for, let's see here, this weekend.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 1 p.m. And the event includes a variety of activities, music, vendors, showcase of backyard chickens. It's not clear whether or not they'll be actually dancing or not. The festival serves as a sock drive benefiting Children in Need Incorporated of Washington County. That's a good thing. That'll be at the Kelly Moore Sheds and Marketplace in Williamsport. Fathers and daughters are invited to a daddy-daughter dinner dance. Say that 5 times.
I'm going to actually interrupt you here with this one because they called us this morning and said that it was sold out.
Really?
Yes. So there aren't, I'm happy for you to talk about the event, but there are no more tickets available. They did, because we were running it this morning on the news, and they called and said, we're so excited that so many people are calling, but we don't have any more tickets left.
Okay. Well, we can kind of skip over that one, unless they call back and say they're putting up bleachers so that you can watch the event from off to one side. Anyway, that's going to be at the Chambersburg Recreation Department, and that is today from 6 until 9. In Greencastle, we'll be hosting the Egg Explosion Craft and Vendor Show on Saturday. That'll be at the Blue Heron Event Center in Greencastle. It'll feature local crafters and vendors with Easter gifts and spring decor. Doors are open at 9 p.m. and 9 a.m. with festivities running until 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
There's also the Beer and Wine Festival tomorrow in Greencastle as well.
Well, I was also going to mention that there is one thing we started doing this year was we asked all of our reporters, says, why don't you go out there and find out where all the egg hunts are going to be, so that we put out a roundup of 11 different events.
Wow, all this weekend?
Well, yes. And we're hoping to expand that quite a bit next year as more people hear about it. Make a longer list. The burn bans, I'm going to touch briefly on that. They were all canceled this past week. Just offering an observation, there didn't seem to be any particular style of coordination that took place among all the different municipalities. In case of Washington County, fires broke out, and then they eventually decided to do a burn ban. Some of the townships in Pennsylvania talked among themselves and decided, but there doesn't seem to be any particular set of criteria that they look at. So just a suggestion, because this will come up again late in the summer, just a suggestion that there ought to be probably a short list of people that they can call and say, what do you think? How are the conditions? How's it looking in your area? Should we put out a big burn ban and include a bunch of us, or just do it individually? That would seem to be helpful, at least for the immediate region. In Chambersburg, Downtown Chambersburg Incorporated, DCI, has got a $100,000 business improvement grant. It's a 50-50 match, so it'll eventually end up applying $200,000 worth of resources in the area. What they're looking for is 20 businesses to contribute $5,000 apiece to cover the match. And then those individual businesses can use it for a variety of purposes, like micro grants to improve their businesses and also the downtown areas. It's a pretty slick idea. DCI is also soliciting public input on downtown improvements. On the 15th of April, they're going to have 3 separate meetings. One at 8 o'clock in the morning at the Chamber, a second virtual one, which will take place at noon, and a third at 6 o'clock at the Coyle Library. So DCI is getting very active and,
they're great.
And getting a lot of activity going, making sure that it, a lot of towns, they deteriorate over time if you don't pay attention. Waynesboro's got a very good, Main Street Waynesboro's got the same kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Pay close attention to how things are. And
making it better and more for everybody.
Yeah.
DCI does a great job. Yeah, we love them.
Yeah. So Washington County increasing its 911 fees from $1.25 to $1.75. I did not know this, but all of these 911s, at least in the state of Maryland, are all supposed to be user fee supported. Apparently, they have some problem. Among other things, they have a $4 million deficit that they have to fill in the county budget. But with this increase, they're expecting revenues in the neighborhood of $900,000 in 2026. So that'll cover almost a quarter of their shortfall. They apparently have, part of the reason they're doing this is they haven't changed the fees in 20 years. It seems like in Washington County and all the municipalities, Hagerstown and elsewhere, they're all going back and circling back to fees that they've left on the books untouched for years and years and years. So expenses are going up. We need to do something about this. Let's see. Hagerstown is still working on their camping ban. That was the one that triggered all the discussion about homelessness. There's still an awful lot of conversation. They haven't exactly settled on anything, but the plot has thickened. The advocates are still touting safety in the downtown area. The opposition wants to solve the entire problem of homelessness. There's got to be some middle ground somewhere in between, because it's probably not going to get solved tomorrow. So they're looking to solve the problems. There is also a state bill, which interestingly enough would restrict the ability of municipalities in the state of Maryland to actually put constraints on people sleeping and camping in public spaces. So I'm almost positive they probably haven't talked to one another. It doesn't look like they're converging on a solution. They're kind of going in all directions. Hagerstown has also adopted a roadway safety plan. And they have been looking for public input. They got a lot of bad stats. There have been an awful lot of accidents and fatalities in the downtown Hagerstown area. So they are adopting a safe system approach, which is consistent with state and federal guidelines. Antietam, Locust, and Mulberry Streets are the three areas that they're going to focus on first. They talk about road diets, which in part is a reduction in the number of lanes in order to decrease the amount of traffic that's going through.
Never heard that verbiage.
Yeah,
Diet. It's interesting.
Well, it's interesting because most towns are looking for ways to increase the throughput. They put in extra lanes and whatnot. But in the interest of, if you're going to keep injuring people, then it's something you need to seriously look at. So road diets, that'll also include increased signage and a lot of things like that. So good initiative on their part. Also, with respect to parking, Boonesboro has a lot of parking and vehicle use problems downtown. This is at least partially because they're so close to the Antietam battlefield, so they get a lot of tourist traffic that comes in, and that apparently causes problems. So what they've done is they've just recently gone through and beefed up or strengthened their traffic and parking guidelines to include double parking, towing people, and increasing the fees that they charge for people who are obstructing traffic in the downtown area. In Franklin County, they are considering what to do with $300,000, which is their share of an opioid settlement. What they're going to do is they're going to use that in a variety of ways for addicted inmates. Not only care for the addicted inmates, but also reentry planning, because once you get into that kind of a problem, it's just very difficult to, you don't think about how hard it is to just be in normal life, but they have to break into normal life, including recreating or rebuilding their reputations and whatnot. So they're looking at reentry planning. They want to reduce recidivism, and they also want to reduce the risk of overdoses. Franklin County is also considering a pass-through of about $225,000 to Habitat for Humanity. Now, these are the guys who build houses, but it's a very specific kind of a deal. What they do is they'll build a house, and they build it for people who can't otherwise afford a house. But they do expect whomever they're building it for to contribute some sweat labor,
of course,
in terms of building it, and then the pricing is they try to make the pricing suit the individual who's contributed so much to it. So
they do such a great job.
Well, they're talking about this pass-through would be about $225,000 to buy 25 acres in Hamilton Township, on which they could go ahead and build. Greencastle School District won or was awarded a Great PA School Award by the Pennsylvania School Administration. They have to satisfy some pretty tough criteria on that. 100% teacher certification. They have to make a variety of opportunities available to students to look at career opportunities. Community engagement. They have to be a pillar of the community. That's defined better than just the standard pillar of the community throwaway line. And they have to demonstrate resilience and fiscal responsibility. So not only do they have to look good and have a lot of programs, they have to actually be able to demonstrate that they can afford it over the long haul.
Greencastle's a great district.
It's a good district.
Great school district.
It is indeed. In police news, Chambersburg and State Police had an enhanced patrols day on the 2nd of April. Their concern is that there are a lot of people who are bad actors, but not all bad actors go out of their way to injure people, damage property all around them. I mean, if they're bad and they're simply doing some specific thing and other bad guys get in the way, that's one thing, but they seem to go out of their way to injure other people. So they had four drug arrests, 3 warrants were served, and other things. They're very focused on people who are bad actors. Okay, let me get down here to get one other item for news. There were several on health. This was an interesting one. Go Bold.
Oh,
Go for Bold in Washington County.
It's £1 million, right?
They're contacting groups, and over the course of several years, until 2030, they want to record the loss of £1 million worth of body weight. I suppose if you get a big enough group, I'm not sure how they deduct for people that gain it back and then lose it 5 or 6 times, because that seems to be a very popular thing to do. One last story title. There's a great little story in footnotes. I usually don't cover a lot of the sports stuff, but there's a great little story in there about how our reporter, who is a runner, went out with his second grade daughter, and they just went for a little run, and he got smoked. It's a well-written story. If you have an opportunity, you ought to take a look at it. Okay, well, that's all for the news. There are other things going. Localnews1.org for $4.99 a month. You can get information that is vetted, accurate, and timely. The thought of the day. I'll close with the thought of the day. A Buddhist. Buddhists they're very goal. You wouldn't think of them as being goal-directed, but Buddhists are very goal-directed. He refused Novocaine during a root canal. His goal was to transcend dental medication.
Oh, really getting to the root of the problem
Yes,
there, huh?
yes.
So, something you can really sink your teeth into
Yes,
as we move on here. And thank you, Dan. Always something to really ponder at the end of our meetings. It's Let's Talk Tri-State, all powered by Legends Bar in Chambersburg. You can satisfy your sports fix at Legends Bar with game day specials and cold brews, and you can find them on Hollywell Avenue in Chambersburg.
Let's talk Tri-State.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk Tri-State, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.